Hello, planet Earth! Chair. Wow, it's been an intense few days. I think the last time I uploaded a vlog of any significant proportion was Thursday or Friday, maybe. It's now Monday evening. And I've had the most busy, sleepless 3 days of the year so far, I think. No, not gonna burp. Let's see, yeah, Saturday. There was a performing company doing a show, and it was good. It was very well received, so well received actually that it sold out. It's buffing up our audience stats for the year, which I quite like. Excuse me, there we are. So far we've only had one show that didn't really make the grade as far as audience figures go, and that was a show that ended up getting canned. And we made up some numbers on future shows based on that one's lost, because we offered discount tickets, so hooray. And yeah, every show, more or less, has had more than 50 or 60 people. Which we're a small theatre, we're a 111-seater, in a town that nobody gives a shit about the arts. It's really personal, it really shouldn't be. Yeah, so that was quite a success, and that was not an easy day for me, but a manageable one, I think. You know, it was one where I was in from 11, and I left at 11. I ended up house managing for the night, and serving drinks on the bar, because we were so understaffed, so hey, gotta do some sort of proper work, right? Yeah, it was just really good evening, really great people as well. Then the Sunday, we were celebrating the 5th anniversary of the launch of the theatre in which I work at. Great and all, but apparently it's been open for about 6 years, so what do I know? Again, great day. Well, great event. The day itself. Oh man! You know, there is, if you're good at a job, then it becomes clear why you're good at it. And if you're good at it without having those tests of clarity almost, people think that it's an easy job to do. And the prime example of this is that a few months ago, many months ago, I was sort of doing 3-4 shows a week, as in just doing the lights, doing the get-in, helping them out, doing the show, getting them out again. And, you know, that was my life, basically. And I've gotten working tech on shows down to it's masturbatory, you know. So I make it look easy. So if I, you know, if I'm at the job for so long and people say, well, why are we paying it? Come on, that shit looks easy. Every now and then, a day like Sunday will come along, wherein it's like, okay, we need to sound check 7 acts, and we need to block it and rehearse it, and we've got 2 hours to do it. One of the acts that turned up didn't have any of their sound files. They were a dance act, they needed music, they hadn't provided anything. So we're fucking there wasting time and downloading this shit and just, fine for me. All I was doing that night was lights and projections. And as for projections, I had like 4 different slides I had to do. One of them was on for most of the night. The other 3 happened during performance at the end of the show. So, you know, good night all in all. Good performance. Fucking good show. And hey, I got to see some really interesting acts too. A nice little preview of what should be coming to my place of work in the future. So, went in at 12 because I pulled the 12-hour day before then, and I wasn't going to go in too early because I was suffering a little bit. And to be honest, I didn't really need to be there till about 1:30, but whatever, you know. So got there at 12, rigged a bit of lights, drunk a lot of tea, programmed some lights, set up a stage, plugged in some microphones and wireless kits and wedge monitors and shit, and got everything levelled and bummed around for a bit, and then quite intensively went through the tech rehearsals for about 5 or 6 different acts. I fucked off to do dinner, got some footage of a man in a bunny costume. The less said about that, the better. Yeah, so ended up getting out about 10, half 10 maybe? 10 hour day. So, I get home about 11, let's say. Go to bed about midnight, because I find that after shows, you've got to have a cool down. And the reason you have that cool down, because if you come in from doing a show, or from playing a gig, or from doing sound at a gig, whatever, and immediately hit the hay, if you've not been doing that kind of day for about a week, 2 weeks, you're going to hit the hay, look up at the ceiling, and your head will be swarming with noise and all sorts of, you know, crazy notions. And I don't know about you, that's certainly the same for me, you know. I can't immediately go to sleep when I get in. I have to have my cool down time because I need time for my brain to slow down. So it was about 12 by the time I got to bed. Half 12 maybe by the time me and my wife just stopped fucking about and just... I don't want that to sound weird. We were seriously just sat there just being really immature. Our pillow talk is great. Yeah. Interesting setup for a really terrible series of events, because at 2 o'clock in the morning, the owner of the lovely shitty little car across the road decides that it would be a great idea to ignore his car alarm going off. And it's not like a wee 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 car alarm, it's the just constant car horn. And I don't mind having a car alarm go off, maybe even a second time, you know. But this shit was just going on and on and on and on and on, and after 30 minutes of it, it stops. And I don't know whether it's coming back again, because it's like, there's obviously different intervals between it going off. And I'm like, I'm awake now. I've had 2 hours sleep. Hour and a half. I'm awake. What the fuck do I do? I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I want to kill something. Come up here, listen to some very angry music for an hour until I start to, you know, nod off at the desk and fuck back off downstairs again. At this point it's 3:30, 4:45. I have to get up at 7:30 because I've got to be in and by 9 this morning. I don't have to be, but I promised I would. To help out the theatre group that regularly rehearses in our theatre on a Monday. So I wake up at 7:30. 5, 6, yeah, 4 hours sleep, maybe, after the 2 I had, so about 6 hours sleep. And considering I had about 6 or 7 hours sleep the night before as well, I'm running off not enough sleep, I think, for the amount of work I've done. I mean, today went great. I set them all up. I let them have free rein. Asked if there was anything they needed, and they said no. And I just sat down and started drawing up like shopping lists and tasks and shit I needed to do as a tech manager. And again, drank a lot of tea. Made a few phone calls. Talked to a few people. Got a lot of second opinions. And spoke creatively about the future of the building with the manager. So, to be honest, today was quite a quiet day, and to make matters worse, I, sprained the back of my hand by smacking against a metal railing yesterday. I was holding a key to a padlock, and I don't know how, I just had some sort of a spastic flail, bunged into a railing, and was just in the most intense pain. It's a little bit swollen, there's probably a lump about that big on the back of my hand. I can move it a lot better than I could when I had immediately done overnight as well. It was killing me. There was a point this afternoon where I did that and crunched my knuckle back in. Just a really interesting couple of days, really. Very fucking busy. I think that's you all caught up. So now I'm going to... what the fuck am I going to do? I was going to do something very specific once I was done. How about wank? No. That's right. I was going to record a bit of guitar for Sphinx. Sphinx. Yeah. That's how it's pronounced. Made a couple of creative decisions in the album department as well. I'll wrap this up, don't worry. And I would like to go into a studio environment to record Music to Mars, which is technically album 2, Sphinx being album 2.5, probably. Yeah, I want to record Music to Mars in a studio environment. I know the guy who I would have on hand producing, because he played bass for the initial recording of the Alien Head, and he's fantastic, and he's a really level-headed producer, and he knows his shit. I'd love to get a guitarist on board to play the guitar parts, whether that's possible or not, who knows. And if I did that, I would record the guitars through an amp. But I basically got to finish writing the album, more or less. I tried working on the last track, called Feel Good Fuel, a couple of nights ago, and got pissed off, because all I was doing was tuning the guitar for 30 minutes and not being able to play. So that's a little frustrating. But yeah. More on that as it develops, because I haven't even spoken to anyone about it yet. So, I know what I do as well. It wouldn't be an actual studio, it would be a room that I would get out to be a recording studio. And again, more on that as it develops, I hope. I could just do it in here, because there's nothing stopping me. So yeah, going to go record some guitars, but while uploading this, maybe play a bit of Tiberian Sun. I've moved on from Red Alert, I'm still playing Red Alert 2, but I'm, switching back to a little bit of Tiberian Sun. Interesting game. Talk more about that tomorrow. I love you lots, and I love you very much, and I'm going to have a very relaxing evening in it. No, I don't